And, Coach, we find ourselves due east from our nation's capital at FedEx Field in Landover, Maryland. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Green Bay Packers and the Washington Redskins. 3/4 of the NFL season are complete. What lurks in our final month? We're underway in Week 14. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. First carry for Darius Geis. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first. This running game so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
Throw left side complete. It's Sims, and they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
On first down, this is Geis. And this will be taken across midfield and into Green Bay territory. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Over the middle, complete. It's Sims. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. Third down, here's Geis. And shedding the tackle, and now some room. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first. If you make the stop there, maybe you hold him to 3 on this opening drive. They didn't get the stop.
Yeah, new set of downs now. Now you're worried about, just as you pointed out, not just giving up 3, possibly giving up 6. Let's see what they decide to do here because they've got to change up what they have been doing. It hasn't been working.
Throwing now, Taylor on first down. And that is caught. Touchdown, Washington. As his guys are in for 6. And the Redskins take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive. Personally, for him, a great opening drive. He had 3 catches, including the touchdown.
That felt like tremendous scouting, great film watching, and creating a game plan to start this off. Not only to get him involved, but to send a message to the defense. You can have a lot to handle in this one.
Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the pack up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
26.
On play action, it's Rodgers. Escaping the pressure right. Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Zach Brown. And a terrific return there. They're finally able to corral him down near the 11-yard line.
Well, I get what he was trying to do. He was moving to his right and trying to shift the coverage, but instead he shifted the coverage also to the right and threw right into it for an interception.
After the interception, here's Taylor, and it's incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
2nd and 10 now. It's Taylor. And this is taken in for a Redskins touchdown. Kelvin Benjamin Benjamin. His third touchdown now on the year. And the Redskins find a way to stretch their lead. And he's got it up and through. Carlson now to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now trotting out there, the Packers getting ready to go. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early. Probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points. Get that 0 off the board. Now Rodgers throwing on second down. And left side here, it's Graham. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. They'll try and run for it with Jones. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. Now a play fake here on first down. And this throw will be intercepted. Picked up by Fabian Moreau. And a great return as he gets this all the way down close to the 30-yard line. Well, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
The throw by Taylor here, and that's incomplete. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up, 2nd and 10. Play action, now Taylor. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And he can't hang on. That's definitely going to be one he wishes he had back. Incomplete in the end zone.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field. Where you go,
nowhere to get away, and down he goes. Taylor is sacked. Kenny Clark in there to get him, and that is sack number 15 for him on the year. They'll try and throw for it with Taylor. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the Michigan man, Jake Ryan. And he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line.
But this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
So after the INT, it's Rodgers. Eluding the pressure right. Looking deep for Adams. And Rodgers intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by DJ Swearinger. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December.
Season of giving.
Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. He's going to wind up and air it out. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. So very close to a turnover there in the end zone.
Well, you've got a receiver here who's got 1 touchdown already in this first quarter, and they were trying to double his pleasure there, wanting to continue to go to the guys already gotten into the end zone. But good coverage to make sure that this time it fell incomplete.
Here's Taylor. Looking sideline, incomplete.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. They'll hand it down to Geis. And he's going to be met at about the 43. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave them with a 4th down.
Nice job there defensively on 3rd down. Not only did they string the play out, but they didn't allow any room for a cutback. Really well organized on the defensive side.
Now remember, they were unsuccessful earlier in this first quarter. Going for it on 4th. They're going to try a second time.
Two jet.
Out of the gun, it's Taylor. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And that is going to be incomplete. The Redskins go for it, but it doesn't pan out. And the Packers D comes up with a big stop. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line. We haven't even escaped the first half, and he's already thrown 4 picks.
And Brandon, back in the good old days, probably back before you were born, if your starter threw 4 in the first half, he might throw 8 or more for the game because they weren't going to pull him out. But nowadays, the patience level isn't quite there. He's going to have to make some real adjustments, or the backup may see some time. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
He gets it in the hands of Geis. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
We talk about mobility on quarterbacks all the time. Here's where it really pays off. Able to move, evade, and is accurate.
And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington. In for the score. And the Redskins are going to add on to their lead. Still first quarter, 2 receiving touchdowns for him. How are they going to slow him down?
I think they're thinking about altering their game plan. Whatever they came in with, now maybe you switch a better cover guy to him. Or you make sure you have more people in his general area wherever he lines up to at least try and discourage them from throwing the ball to him.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that makes the score 21-0. Carlson now to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Packers offense now heading back out onto the field. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards. Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down. They go play action here on first down. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
3 scores down, not even a halftime yet. They are not getting much generated offensively. They've got to figure it out.
It's tough because this defense just seems to be playing with so much confidence right now.
They really are. They are on their toes, and they're getting at them.
Under pressure, and he'll go down. They'll sack him on what ought to be the final play of this first quarter. They do, however, have a tough 3rd and long coming up. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Steps away to his left. And the pressure gets to him again. J.J. Watt in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year.
Well, that was their 3rd sack of the ball game. 2nd in the league in sacks coming into this one. They're planning on making it a race to the top, aren't they?
Absolutely. They're looking up at that top spot, but they might be looking down at the 2nd spot pretty soon. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And it'll be Redskins football now with a 1st and 10. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Meanwhile, a throw by Taylor is incomplete. What a difference a week makes. Last week, he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week, he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number, not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense has spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away at his timing.
A good pickup there at 22. They go play action with Taylor. He's going to let this one go deep. And incomplete. Crisis averted. Almost picked. Instead, 2nd down. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip.
A fight for the football, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jair Alexander. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively. Not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
They'll roll him out right. And now he'll turn it. And got his man complete. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. They give him a gain of 38.
In our pregame meeting, all they talked about was keeping him hemmed in and wanting him to make his throws from the pocket because they knew he was pretty dangerous if he got outside, and he just showed it right there. Pretty good arm, too.
Now Rodgers. And the Redskins do get to him. He goes down for a sack.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
And he'll get it down to the 47 here. It's an 8-yard pickup, and they'll be facing a 3rd and 12.
We are going. Zoom.
Let's go, Mike 50. Mike 50.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
Now look at this. 4th and 12, and they're going to line up to go for it.
Zoom. 3 down. Yeah, Liz.
They'll go for it. It's Rodgers. And he comes back with one complete. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. That one good for 17 yards on 4th. Couldn't ask for much more from your offense there. 1st down. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now Rodgers. Flushed out right. And that is incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Flush to his right. Now he's going to throw deep right side. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter, a lot of time to change things. Rodgers now to throw. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
So the scoring drive encompasses 9 plays, and the net result, 3 points.
Take your disappointment and put it aside. 9 plays. Yeah, they want to end up in the end zone with a touchdown. I get that. But sometimes those 9-play drives pay dividends later with another 9-play drive that culminates in a touchdown when they wear down a defense.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. So out now come the Redskins. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go,
And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Kevin King with a pick. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. And he'll take this up over the 40 to about the 41. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. On 2nd down, it's Jones. Oh, he's got a little daylight. 38 yards on the scamper there.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Now a first down carry by Jones. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Credit the tackle to DJ Swearinger.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And he'll take this one down near the 15. It'll only be a gain of a yard, and it sets up a 3rd down and 4 now. The Packers on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 4. Two minutes to go here in the first half. Back to FedEx Field following this short break. The Packers on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 4. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he picks up the first as he's able to take it down to the 7-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the top, and he's got it. It's caught for a Packers touchdown. As his guys are in for 6, and the Packers make some inroads here on that deficit. And he is a reliable target. They like to get him involved. They got him involved there for the score.
And they should. He's a very good player. Remember, they can use him in certain positions, so many different spots, and he usually comes through for them.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Redskins offense now, they head back onto the field. And last time, 1-play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback you got a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
Geis for the carry on 2nd down. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Two jet.
From the shotgun, it's Taylor. Dancing to his left. Toward the sideline. And did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge, and that's good enough for a first down. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down. They'll throw on first down with Taylor. And he couldn't hang on. Would have been their fourth pick of the game. Instead, second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Completes it right side to Dawson. The reception good for 7. It's third down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
And that one will fall incomplete. Clock here now just under 30 seconds to go in this first half.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
Tackle made there by Zach Brown. Rodgers going to throw. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And all the way down to the 26. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. He hit his first. Now this from 43. And Crosby puts it through. All right, hang on. We'll jump over halftime. So we've reached halftime here in D.C. in our nation's capital with a home team, the Redskins, on top. This is taken at his 4. And an alley to run. And he's going to wind up bringing this one inside the 45-yard line.
It's the third quarter, and they're down on the scoreboard. And while no one wants to hit the panic button just yet, points are a necessity on this drive. What a great way to get set up.
The second half starts with a carry by Jones. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
And Brandon, every running back wants to use their speed in order to get out in front of things. Sometimes you just have to be patient, let blocks develop. On that play, that didn't happen.
Hey, where y'all going?
Rodgers to throw on second down. He's going to airwalk. And now here is another interception. Then it's Clinton Dix with a pick. And he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. On the handoff, it's Geis, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 2 there, and it's third down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. Now a shot taken on third down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up fourth down. Pulled in at the 24. A terrific return. 30 yards all in all. And the Packers will have a short field to work with here as they take over 1st and 10. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. And able to push forward for right around 3 yards down to the 42.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
A first carry for the converted wideout, J.D. McKissick. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a third down. Throwing is Rodgers on third down. He's got his man on the crossing route. He had their lone TD earlier. Now he's got a first down.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the first down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
Well, they were right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
26. Zoom.
Rodgers now to throw again. He's airing it out for Wilt. And this is caught. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. A great play there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Packers move back within a couple of the lead. And now they'll empty the backfield here as they elect to go for 2.
No. Check. Patriot. Gun.
And now a first chance for the backup here to throw. Feeling the pressure here and taken down. A sack back at the 7.
They made the decision to go for 2. They didn't get it. They remained down by 2 points. Should they have kicked it there?
A third quarter, I'm okay with it. Maybe first or second, you don't. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, again, I keep coming back to I don't like to chase a lot of points.
Yeah.
But I also don't know what kicking an extra point being down 1 does for me.
The Redskins offense now, they get set to take over here. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a...
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by the Michigan man, Jake Ryan. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line.
All right, Brandon. Normally when you hear about guys making 2 interceptions in the game, you're thinking must be a free safety, maybe a corner. How about getting 2 picks out of one of your linebackers? Again, he's just in the right place at the right time. That's another great play to come away with the football.
And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. The 15 yards there on the catch and run.
Not too many teams will use a first-round pick on a tight end, so you know that when one does, he's got to be pretty darn special.
A small example of why they took him in the first round there. Nice little catch and run to get the good yardage. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Shift.
319.
Again, it's Jones. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. A great effort there. His 9th touchdown of the season. And the Packers are able to cash in for 6. Crosby connects on the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And here come the Redskins now. Their lead, they have seen it evaporate completely after such a good first half. They've been shut down here in the 3rd quarter.
Searching for answers, trying to figure out what it's going to take to get back to where they were before. The big part of it is that sometimes you don't have to go exotic now. You go back to basics. being able to run the football, string some things together, some effective passes, try and get a rhythm established again, and try and get back in the lead.
Back in the lead, like you said, back to the basics. Again, they run. Again, it's Geis. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. No gain that time, and it leaves him with 3rd and 11 coming up. The Redskins on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. From the gun, it's Taylor. Escaping the pressure right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Jair Alexander. And he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the 2nd week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. They'll go again to Jones. And no room that time, getting it to about the 46. He can muster only a yard there, and they'll be left with a 3rd and very short. The good run on 1st down followed up by a not-so-good run on 2nd down.
Now let's find out if they're going to stick with the run here on 3rd down. A lot of people would love to see some play action here. I say go with your best running play over your best blocker.
And he'll burrow his way forward to pick up the 1st. Give him 4 yards as he does it himself, and it's a 1st down. Under a minute to go in this 3rd quarter as they come up 1st and 10.
Over. 36. Run right. Hey, check 26.
Now this time Rodgers will throw. And his pass incomplete. And the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, 3rd quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot. But they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Again, this to Jones. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Watch the shift. Hey, watch the shift. Hot.
Back now at FedEx Field. It's Packer football here as they've got the lead as well. After the run by Jones, here's 1st and 10. On 1st down, Rodgers. Now look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Zach Brown. And he'll take this all the way down inside the 40. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
Back to the ground on first. It's Geis. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible him to something a little more advantageous. I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
And they almost had another one. They are all over the football in this game. Nearly another pick. Now 4th down.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. you're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
Rodgers will bring the pack up with a 1st and 10 at about the 32. They'll start out on the ground with Jones. And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard.
But Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that. And that's what he did.
Throwing left side, it's complete. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Defensively, they're okay with that. Short little route, tackle him inbounds. Okay.
All right, cliche alert. It's time for someone to make a play because they've got to have something bigger downfield. They can't just take what they give them. They've got to force it and make something big happen for them.
A give to Jones. And effective running here. He'll take it down inside the 10. Just what you want on a 1st down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2.
Wide, get wide.
Now Jones. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be 3rd down. Now, the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession, so they can't just sit on it running the ball. They'll have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
Coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. They'll run with a backup. This is Williams. Trying to barrel up in there, but I don't think he got it. They'll be marked inches short. No gain on the play, and that's going to lead them to 4th down.
Let's go, hey, let's go, come on.
The offense here not budging. They're going to fight for it on 4th and inches.
Check 99, check 99.
Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this.
We got three down. Hey, fellas, we got 3, let's go.
And here's a big one now. Trying to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on 4th down.
Odd. 5 down. Stand up in.
They'll run it with Jones. And the second effort gets him in. Touchdown, Packers. A great play there. His 10th touchdown of the season, 2nd of the game. And the Packers add on to their lead. Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call, mark off the 5, and keep it moving.
So now Rodgers will lead the Packers up to go for 2. They're going to run for it with Jones. And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This fielded at the 2. And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. Now a play fake here on first down. That's complete. He's got Lynch out of the backfield. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. Play action, it's Taylor. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. That's caught inside the 20. And he takes it down deep into Green Bay territory. A huge play there for Washington. And even 60 yards. Now it's Taylor. And he slings one that's incomplete.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe he didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, fourth quarter. Maybe you do start to watch as the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game. They'll try again here from the 7 on 2nd and goal.
4 down, 4 down.
He'll get it up the middle. And he stopped immediately there. Call it no gain that time, and now it's 3rd and goal.
Partner's been my experience that after 2 stops like that near the goal line, defenses only become bolder. They don't back off at all. I think they continue to bring pressure and force them to make a really big play against them.
Have the incompletion, then the run for no gain. And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet. So here are the Redskins now, an important 2-point conversion.
Back, back, back.
Ready. 319.
They're going to try and run. And he will get into the end zone as a 2-point conversion is successful. And the lead is down to a field goal here in the 4th. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. Oh, for a second there, I had flashbacks to a few years ago, the NFC Championship game for the Packers. But here, they're able to hold on.
And many things changed in Green Bay after that game. Personnel, people coaching, the whole deal. And in this case, they get it done. No fail like they had in Seattle.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. And now we're going to get a timeout called by the Redskin defense, as he'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. Rodgers looking to throw. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. A big gain there, and that should certainly be enough to put this one in the win column.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around to make the play on the football.
And this is caught. And that could seal it. It's a touchdown. You and I have seen a lot of special comebacks. This one pretty much unbelievable. Roaring all the way back from that huge deficit. Now in the driver's seat.
Take the numbers out of it. It seemed insurmountable. It seemed monumental. Like no chance you could get that done. But they did. Let's go back to the 92 NFL season, 93 playoffs. Houston, Buffalo, in Buffalo. Houston with the monster lead, and here come the Bills all the way back to win it.
Led by Frank Reich, correct?
Yes, Frank Reich was the quarterback. He had done it in college a few times. He did it in the pros with the Bills. How old were you then?
I was 10.
That hurt.
But I remember it. Now it's Taylor. Packer pressure, and down he goes. And here come the whistles and a timeout with 7 seconds left. And not a blitzer, but still able to get there from a strong safety position.
Yeah, I think that was a great example of what they call football IQ. Recognizing he was open, had a chance, and went ahead and got to the quarterback.
He's going to let it fly. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Crayvon LeBlanc with a pick. Well, I know at points in this when you wanted to close your eyes because of all the points that were being put on the scoreboard. You're a defensive guy, but it was a fun little track meet, wasn't it?
It was, and you know the people who really enjoyed this game? They're the ones that like going to batting practice at the Major League Baseball parks, right? Seeing the 14-11 game, that sort of deal. That's right up their alley with what we saw in this one.
So for the Packers, it's a very important win as they move to 9-4 now on the year. And they'll head back home next week to take on the Dallas Cowboys. Meanwhile, for Washington, it's a potentially fatal blow to their playoff chances as they drop to 6-7 on the year. And they'll look to get back in the winning column next week as they head to Foxborough to face off against the New England Patriots. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew on EA Sports.